Hello, folks, and welcome to our channel. It is great to have you here. So, this is where we do our world news tarot reading, where I pick just some of the hot topics from the last week or last few days. The three areas that I want to look at today from my list is the shooting, I think it was yesterday, at a primary school in the USA. The armed guard, I think that's what they're calling it, the armed guard in DC, and the possibility, I think it may already be happening in other parts of the US. And this thing in the UK with the UK flags, the flag of St. George and an itchy nose, flag of St. George, stroke the Union Jack that is now being put up literally all over the place. Some of the main streets in the UK, like you literally will go down and it'll be flag after flag after flag after flag. So let's start off with oh, and I've got my little guide out here. So we'll cut that off. We just lay cards out to see where everything is. Anyway, with a bit of luck, I might edit that out of it. So the decks you'll be seeing in today's reading are the Trish James Investigation deck. You will also be seeing the Trish James Governance Oracle. You will also be seeing the Golden Art Nouveau Tarot. You will also be seeing the Christ Consciousness deck by Amanda Ellis. So let's get to it. So the shooting in America. Can I just take this opportunity as well to say that um, I am aware right now, as many of us are, that the world, both on a collective level and an internal level, is very difficult for many people. And I think it's important to live in the real world whilst we're going through this healing journey. That not everything is love and light, and that there are some really difficult, challenging things coming up internally, personally, and globally, collectively for people. And sending my love and blessings to those with an itchy nose, to those that are struggling at this time. So, the shooting in America. Let's start with I think we'll start with the tarot. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. I got all scratch. Anyway, so the shooting in America. That's the first one that's fallen out. Eight of Pentacles in reverse. That's good. Keep shuffling, okay. Okay. Death and Rebirth. Chariot in reverse at the bottom. The Devil in reverse. Ace of Cups in, not Ace of Cups in reverse, apologies. Knight of Cups. Four of Swords. The Tower. Squeeze another one here. Two of Pentacles. Victory in reverse. Transition. Squeeze another one here. Five of Pentacles in reverse, Hanged Man in reverse. So, I'm feeling, I don't know whether this is the person in particular. And by the way, I know this doesn't explain anything. Do you know what I mean? Or not explain anything. I know this doesn't make anything right. But what I'm feeling here is an overall energy of people in utter despair. There's layers upon layers upon layers of this. The person that we're dealing with, Eight of Pentacles is upright, and you're going to work and you're going to go get something done. In reverse, it's someone that he doesn't feel seen, valued, heard. There's an anger there that he doesn't know how to process. going to do something strange here. Not strange. I'm gonna have a clarifier for every single card we've got here. I don't know why I'm asking for this, but let's do. Ooh, I'm in for it. Okay. Well, that's a lot of cards. I want one card. I want an itchy nose to stop. The lovers and the ace of not. Why do I keep saying the aces when it's not aces? Aces can be your new beginnings, though. We've got the lovers there, and we've got the King of Pentacles in reverse. I'm going to not share that a lot because of the imagery on it. Um, this isn't just about, it is about a shooting, but it goes much deeper in that. It goes with a despondency with the USA, with how it's being run. The energy in the USA is blocked, stifled, suppressed. For some people, there's also something here with this guy. I don't know whether it's him where he lives or the school or the land. There's some there's an external influence involved in this. Um, there's an external influence. Okay, entity, top as possible will be demonic. Influence, not making it right for him, but there's an entity involvement here. Okay, a hijack of energy that has seen a vulnerability in this person. I don't even know his name. Seen a vulnerability in this person, but also as well, it's the dark frequency that is aware that there is change here, but wants to scare people. If you think about primary school children as well, we've often said this, primary school children, all children are the next layer of humans and light beings coming into this earth. As we get through more children now, they're going to be much lighter and brighter than we or the past generations were. They're going to carry less karmic debt, less trauma. They're going to be able to adapt to new energies quicker. So this is an attack on the light. But it's also to get our attention to America, to the world, to the anger that lies within all of us at the systems in place right now across the world, but also as well um, the issues of guns in America. Um, the fact that a gun, every object holds a resonance and an energy frequency. The amount of guns in America needs to be reduced. The guides are showing me a big pile of guns. I don't know if you call it like this over in the US, but they'll have things like a knife amnesty, not namaste. Well, maybe it needs more namaste. They have gun amnesties and they have knife amnesties over in the UK here, where all the gangsters hand the stuff in and everything. That's needed because the more guns you have in a country, the more that frequency. And I know people will say, yeah, but what about criminals walk? At some point, and this is the download I got yesterday when it came on. At some point, someone somewhere's got to say enough. So, a lack of direction, a lack of focus, a lack of productivity, a lack of being seen, um, actions that should be positive and people doing positive things for their country, for their life, it's in reverse. We're going through a death and rebirth energy all over the world, especially in the US at the minute. We're trying to release this devilish energy, this dark energy, and trying to get back to our dreams. Um, to do deep releasing in order to face the clearing. But we've got this Two of Pentacles energy here that is all over the place, the lack of victory. Governance Oracle. Show me the US government in relation to the shooting. 4 cards, keep it simple. Also, as well, with that card, I know he's not got a gun in his hand, but he's got a chisel hammer, whatever that is. axe, I don't know, thingy. And it's almost like drop your tools. There is a possibly a lot of money to be made from those things. Guns, yes. It's time to rebirth. It's time to awaken, to release the dark, to remember what your dreams are and get this card back in reverse, to do the inner work, to do the clearing, to come back into balance, to be victorious, and all that crap about make America great again. With now, I don't mean that culty crap. I mean this from a soul level, a transition to move through troubled waters with dignity, to step back into your power and to see things from a different perspective. Seeds of prosperity, people feeling like the underdog, working on a solution, concede defeat, market volatility, and empty promises. So there's one more apparently. Okay, bottomless money pit. So seeds of prosperity, I feel, is people struggling to see prosperity at this time in the US. It feels as though prosperity is going to the few and not the many. People are feeling defeated. And I'll reiterate, I know that doesn't give people the excuse to go into primary schools. But I think collectively, globally, and as countries and in individual countries, we're going to have to look at our home truths in this and the fact that people are feeling defeated. Market volatility, we know there's lots of money issues, fear, money being used to control, empty promises, um, being promised things and it not happening, and this bottomless money pit. Clarify for that bottomless money pit. Ooh. Sorry, my chair. I've got a new desk and I'm getting used to it. And it keeps knocking the drawer. There's some drawers here. Okay. Strained relations, flipped out, and judgmental scrutiny. So the political system in America is having an impact on people's mental health. We know that. But there is a successful outcome from this. Um, Now, whether that comes from the UK government, not the UK, oh, could come from the UK government. Okay. I was thinking US, but maybe the UK steps in at some point with this. Maybe the UK is going to step in if there is civil war or civil unrest in the US, although UK is heading for its own shit show. Strained relations, judgmental scrutiny. Let me just pop those over there. So this was a clarifier for that one, bottomless money pit. I know that I'm not reading on the individual with this governmental card. I'm reading on the government, but I'm picking up something about the gunman and something in his life, a strained relationship, strained relations, judgmental, something to do with his past. I know this is the government card and shouldn't be bringing anything about him, but that's what I'm feeling there. But I also feel as well that this can be resonant of so many other people. Even the president of that country didn't have the most healthiest of relationships in his inner child, in his parent with his parental upbringing. So this is a reflection. It's also a warning. It's a warning to come away from money and to come back into integrity, to concede defeat. Many people not wished this in, but wished the current narrative in or a potential narrative with the vote. And it's not working. I mean, I don't know how bad it's going to get for people to realise that that is not working. The same here in the UK. There's issues here. So going, you know what? We've made a mistake here. Until people can step into being humble and realising of empty promises, this is a really big learning curve. Um, on so many levels. Right, I want to do some guidance. One card for guidance for people at this time. The door, open the door, Christ within you. That's the card that's been picked. And Jesus, follow my lead. So Christ consciousness and following his lead, dropping down guns, dropping down the need to be right, looking at integrity of politics and everything. This isn't just about US, it's going to be across the world. But this is about, do you want to step out of the darkness and into the light? How bad has it got to get for us to wake up to where we are? Let's move on to the next one, which is the armed. I think that's what they're calling it. Apologies if it's not. Don't worry about wrong wording. It is my channel after all. And wrong words do often get used. So, I have read on this before. Let's just see. Governance. We'll try the tarot first, then we'll go into the governance. Armed guard in DC, Washington, DC. Ooh, okay. Again, it's brutal. It's brutal leading. Knight of Cups in reverse. It's not heart-centered. It's frightening for some people. Some people feel as though they're trapped in their worst nightmare. I'm seeing an ancestral thing here of current day people whose ancestors went over there thinking they were going to get freedom and liberation. The present day family members there, some people, are having the opposite effect now, and it's almost like wanting to escape but not knowing where to go to. Mental health. Queen of Pentacles at the bottom. Illusion. World in reverse. Knight of Swords. Where am I on now? Six of Pentacles. Four of Cups in reverse. King of Wands in reverse. Misuse of power. Judgment in reverse. Stuck in the middle of it. Unable to clear something. Let's take one more. Something out of, but I'll just squeeze that in there. Okay. Something out of balance. So the actions in DC with Armed Guard, whatever it is called, is not coming from a place of heart-centeredness. I'd even say there could be something in this to cause more mental conflict. Um, People feeling they're struggling to release this mental conflict with this illusion, being bombarded. There's also a lot of mistruths around this, a lot of things getting taken out of context, a lot of fear mongering that's stopping people moving forward. People needing to find their own strength. Yeah, and not go into victimhood with it. Or withdrawal, isolation, disassociation. Stuck. So we're stuck. But, ooh, and I'm going to take that as well. You can't see this, I don't think. And I'm going to take that as whoop, and I'm going to not have that fall over. And I'm going to take, you can't see this, but it doesn't matter. There's so many cards that were sticking up. At the bottom of the deck, we had that, which is, I'm not going to bullshit you. This is a really, really troublesome, problematic situation. But out of this, out of everything that we're seeing here, will come great wisdom when we're ready to release. Will allow us to move forward and plant new seeds. It may not be in your lifetime, it may be further down the line. But at some point, this crisis point in the US will bring it back to how it was meant to be. The voice of the people and the sun card, which is joy. Yes, can you see that? I'll pop that there. Yes. Six cards only. Do we need to look at the future of possible of this kind of behaviour spreading? Is this a potential for behaviour spread? Is this going to spread across America? Armed guard, uh, totalitarianism. Okay, Eight of Wands, move forward, keep moving forward, keep on your healing path. Don't drop your healing path. Knowing that this is part of the purge, the political system in America is going through a huge purge. This is the underbelly bubbling up. It needs to be seen. It needs to be climatized. That's interesting. I was going to say alchemized. Justice in reverse. Overwhelm. Okay. Well, that's releasing the devil, releasing the darkness. People have forgotten the past with the past civil war, and that's a big factor here. They've forgotten their heritage, the true heritage, struggling to release burdens, struggling to. What's the future for America with this? Struggling to take a leap of faith. Okay, that's fallen out of its own accord. Okay, three, Three of Cups in reverse, death and rebirth. I'm feeling that there is an energy in the US. I'm not saying everyone, a group. I'm not just talking about elites here, but there's a group. Not this is elites, I think, yes. But this is just normal everyday people like that shooter that we've just read on that are actually wanting a fight. They're wanting a war. They're wanting to get out and smash things up. What's the guidance for this? What's the guidance for this? Oops. Grace, blessings and goodwill, and spiritual practice, structure and routine. It's like I said. So going through this with grace, remember energy is everything. There are antagonistic people out there that still want to cause an uprising. I'm like I said, I'm not going to bullshit you. I don't bullshit. There's no need for bullshit. But from your perspective, you have to step into grace as much as you can. Even if you look round you and you feel as though you're the only one doing it, you're not. It's just how you're seeing it in that moment. You have to keep going. Spiritual practice, cleaning up your act, cleaning up your home, cleaning up your life, getting into the natural world as much as possible. Bringing in as much joy and beauty as you can. And I know there are many Americans doing this right now. Unfortunately, we don't have a magic wand. All that we can know is that there are more of us that can go into balanced love and compassion at these times. It is vital. And this is a real big spiritual leveling up, I'm feeling. Um, and maybe this is something to learn about with the spiritual growth that where it's really easy to go to a meditation class and come out all namaste. Depends on whatever. Anyway, but it's harder when you're faced in the middle of a shitstorm. And governance. Okay. What's the government like at this time in relation to armed guard, etc., civil war? What's their energy? What's their intention, the current government? Oh, deliberately obscuring. These are all injured little boys, inner child. Same in the UK, you know. It's coming out in dribs and drabs that a lot of our MPs, royals, aristocrats, all the bigwigs that run the country, parliament, royalty, everything, many of them have been exposed to, abuse, parental abuse, boarding school abuse, sexual abuse, mental abuse, and these are the people now running the country, running the world. But these are deliberately obscuring evidence. Forced hand, they're forcing the hand of someone here. At the bottom of the deck, we've got domestic priority, thinking only about their own needs. telling people we're doing this for the safety of the country, power of persuasion, misuse of funds. So could this be funneling money off? Working on a solution. Bottomless, we've got this card again. Strained relations, support assistance, dodging the question. So someone's trying, this could be also covering up the Epstein stuff. Corruption revealed. So there is corruption here. They're deliberately obscuring information. There's a manipulation here to force someone's hand. The power of persuasion is also at play here. I'd call it money laundering, the misuse of funds. Do you know, it could really go dark. Listen, you could say a country actually wanting to get rid of money so they don't have to put it to good use that could help people. Um, Working on a solution. Let's have a clarifier for that. Intimidation tactics, can you see that? And liberation prevails, but at what cost? Somebody's claiming that they're doing this for your benefit, but it's intimidating. This person wants control, full control. Four of Pentacle type energy, full control of a situation, using the bottomless money pit for their own agenda. But there's a strange relationship, not just with others around them, but with themselves, possibly even like a split personality type energy. God, I can't pick up support and assistance. People that are trying in these areas, governmental, political, whatever, are trying to do a good job to bring about sort of a feeling as though they can't get to the bottom of this. Once they've got on the top of something, something else has come in. And dodging the question, corruption revealed. There is corruption here. Let's move on to the UK. Right, interesting. We went out on the weekend to back to Leeds. And we were driving up the motorway. And I was like, have you seen all these St. George's flags about? And Claire went, don't you know about them, Claire? I do know about the St. George's flag, but I didn't know. What I didn't know about was that they're now starting to, they, as in, I think it's certain groups of people putting them up all over the United Kingdom on the main roads, on trees, lampposts, bridges. Now, people will say that want to make excuses for it. It's being patriotic. It's actually weaponizing the flag. When I actually came across it, we had to drive down a particular street in West Yorkshire, and it felt so intimidating. The energy of these flags, it was not, and I will repeat, it was not patriotic. It had been weaponized. You know, you could take, let's say, for example, this crystal. It's a beautiful crystal, but the same crystal that is beautiful and that can heal can also kill someone, okay? Or cause damage or get someone in the eye. Yeah. The pointy bit off that crystal. See what I mean? So it's weaponized, and that was the energy of it. So then I Googled it and I was like, oh my God, this is happening all over the UK. I thought it was just a Yorkshire thing, but it isn't. And yeah, so let's read on it. Show me the energy behind the putting up of flags, UK flags, St. George's cross flag, stroke Union Jack within the United Kingdom at this time. Show me the true energy, true intention, please. Tower, wanting to rock the foundations of society. King of Swords here, brutality. Wanting to make a stand. It's coming from a place of non-consciousness, of non-heart-centeredness. It's brutal. It's we will be heard, we will be seen at the bottom of the deck. Okay. The Devil in reverse. Okay. Again, something else. See how countries reflect each other? It's the country also trying to cleanse itself. bear with me, cleanse itself of its fears. You know, the UK is actually built on immigration. None of us are British here. None of us are British. I don't think there's anything really British here, unless you go to the wild depths of Wales or Cornwall, Cornwalliam, or Scotland, where the proper Britons would live. They were Druids that got chased out. Do you know what I mean? The Romans, the Danes, the no, before it was the Saxons and the Normans. So this country's a constant immigration pool. It always has been. It always will be. So this is showing us the lack of, it's showing us the underbelly again of society that want to keep people in separation and fear, that want to keep people tied. It's not coming. These aren't warriors going out for the people. These are not heart-centered warriors that are doing this. This is people stuck in blaming and shaming energy that can't release this betrayal. Um, they're holding on to this old narrative, the old England that doesn't really exist. And it's only when you really start to educate yourself that you realise that it doesn't exist. Our royal family are German and other places as well. Do you know what I mean? Um, our royal family at one point was Norman. Our royal family at one point was Danish. Um, St. George. Ooh. The energy of St. George being exploited, deep healing needed. Here they are, nailing their flags. The poor, the disabled, the vulnerable of society, lashing out. Not all, but lashing out. Going into lack mentality rather than dealing with what is right in front of them. Walking up, it's this abundant. Because I do a lot of abundance work, I'm so mindful of what I say. They're taking our benefits. They're doing this. You know, even like paying a bill, I go into when I pay a bill, I go into the energy of abundance and enjoy paying a bill because if you go into lack, you get more bills. Do you know what I mean? Three of Swords, needing to release this heartbreak. A Magician. One more card. And then we get the real warriors coming in. Okay, so this is part of the clearing in the UK. There's also here a lack of understanding on just what the UK is built on and what it nearly always has been built on. It's the underbelly coming up. It's the lack of heart. I mean, UK has the heart chakra of the world in it, Glastonbury, but it's almost like people have pulled away from the heart chakra, from the knights of old, from the true knights. And in its place is something that's toxic, that's stuck. It's almost like stuck energy that we can all collect. I'm just making sure I'm still filming, that we can all collect at times, but we need to put it to rest. We all have prejudices, we all have fears. Um, it's about learning about different things and building your life, a life that you're proud of. People have lost their magic, they've lost the wonder. They've gone very dense into very dense 3D and possibly below energies of fear, of lack, of blaming, of shaming. They've forgotten that we are, an isle of magic. I mean, the ley lines. Another reason why people, and it's not for benefits, right? It's been happening since beginning of time because the land here is magical. Look at the countries in the world where people flock to or have flocked to in droves. It's because of the ley lines, the magic, the wisdom, our stone circles. You know, if you class yourself as a Brit, it's time to remember your magic and your true night energy, the true awakening. Also, as well, is this a time for the good to really rise in this country? I want to look at the governmental energy. Now, is this what we look at now? It's not in government, I know, but can I have three cards for Kier Stat? Oh, my deck's all upside down. I hate upside down decks. It'll be fine. I'll get over it. We'll sort it. It'll sort itself out in the end. That's interesting how I said that. Talking about my deck, not Nigel Farage or Kier Starmer. But let's just, I know my deck's upside down. I'll look away when I pull a card. Three cards for Kier Starmer in relation to the UK flags, immigration, etc. Three cards for Kier Starmer. Three cards for Kier Starmer. Okay. I know that's on show. I can't do anything about it on that one. Tyrannical leadership, true to their word. Oh, where are we at the bottom of the deck or what? No, that's the bottom of the deck, isn't it? Retains authority. So we know people are disheartened. Oh, what's happened here? We know people are this interim placeholder. He's not a real leader. I think we know that. I think that's across the world at the minute. Interim placeholder. Again, I know I don't think he was elite or posh. I think he's, don't know, he said was a maker of something and his mum a nurse, I think. Oh, that's a story he says, but he's again another damaged boy. True to their word with who? Tyrannical leadership retains authority. I need to sort this deck out for as much as I can. I think I have. Was there one more card? One more card. I was due one more card for him. I'm sure I said four. Sorry. Ooh, okay. Reversing course has come out and support assistance. So we may find him backpedaling in a lot of things he has said. True to their word. I wanted to get clarified for that, didn't I? True to their word, Keir Starmer. Global impact and lacking control. This is with all leaders. It's not it's having an impact on the world, global impact, lacking control at the bottom of the deck. So people don't know where they stand with him. He doesn't know where he stands. I want to look at Nigel Farage first. I want to get them both. Nigel Farage's energy in all of this. Nigel Farage. For those that don't know, Nigel Farage is the right, far right. So he'd be like our Trump. He's not as rich, I don't think. But he is rich, apparently, even though he claims he isn't. Um, unresolved differences. Oh, what's happening here? Okay, United Front. Yeah. Oh, Bond of Britain and all of that. Easily bought. So Nigel Farage. Oh, God, what's going on here? He's dodging a question. He's not to be trusted. He's got a selfish agenda and he's got a black, according to the cards, there's a black heart here. He has a black heart. I'm not saying if he has one, to read between the lines, but his heart is not heart-centered consciousness. I would say out of both of them, I'd rather stick to Kier. I'm not saying Kier's perfect. I know there's issues with Kier, but I have always thought this about Nigel Farage. This is a dangerous man. He's more wishy-washy than you think. He's a puppet master. They're not proper leaders. He's dodging the question. He's got inner child issues, unresolvable differences within the party. It's all about a united front. It's coming from a lack of integrity and intelligence. Okay. Um, Main energy of the United Kingdom. I don't know. I know this is a governance oracle, but I'm just interested to see what this deck says. Misuse of funds. Okay, yeah. Shadow operation. So the main energy in the UK right now is you're misusing our funds. I'll put that down so I'm not. And they feel as though there's a shadow operation. Everything's shadow. Everything's fear. And there is shadow. But again, this is having to step out of these old, dense energies of someone's out to get me. I've told you we're moving into times where we become less reliant on the powers that were. I even said at the weekend, I said it's almost like you drive out there now or go out anywhere and you're stepping in and out of different dimensions. Like you can be sat in traffic lights and it could be like really 3D, it could be really heavy, dense, oh, I feel awful. Look at those flags, that's horrific. And the next minute you could be driving through a park or walking through a meadow and it feels beautiful. You could be sat in a hospital and you feel raw, you can feel all the icky energies. Do you see what I mean? It's all of these different places in society that are all at different frequencies, all the parts within us that are all at different frequencies. And, there may be people that think that they're acting for the highest intentions of their future generations in all of this because they think that they're good people or they feel that they are good people. I think everyone at core level is a good human being. We've just been conditioned by a false matrix to be something else. Can I just say this to round with the reading? Oh, we haven't had a card. Let me just pull a card from this. Guidance for the UK. Guidance for the UK. Also, as well, there's an energy here of people actually not really understanding what they are honouring in the UK, if that makes sense. These old ways of being that I don't know, have just been everything's been corrupted. Enlightenment, continue to grow. Okay, so enlightenment, continue to grow, and holy anger, be the change. You're not going to be the change by putting flags up on. If you're putting a flag up because you've always put a flag up because you are proud of your country and all that your country brings to the table, fair enough. But this isn't that. I also feel as well this is a lot of the younger people, a lot of younger people here that are immigrants or that come from immigrants, a lot of transsexual people, a lot of gay people, a lot of people that just don't fit the narrative or the narrative that we're being told is perfect or the way to be are feeling this. But out of this will come a rebirth and you be the change. A bit like the American thing, right? Okay, can I just share some facts with you about the world? Let me just cover these. Let me just give everybody a time to have a breather. And just in case that camera kicks out again. So we don't need the camera now. There's no cards on the table. Only Claire's energetic cards on the table. Because I'm going to put my cards on the table. The truth is, in all of this situation, the elites of the world or certain groups of people within the world want us fighting with each other. They want us hating each other. They want us fearing each other. They want us blaming each other for our services not being the best they can be or should be. And when you start to learn that, it's so important right now to not go into fear of other people, other cultures. Even when you do see some of these boats that are coming through, and they are some, and it does show you that they're predominantly male or whatever. It is what it is. I don't know. I don't even follow it to be quite honest. Even following it can affect your energy. In that moment, what are they coming over here for? Is to not allow it. To know that you will be safe. And until us humans get it and start to realize that we are being played and that the enemy isn't immigrants, the enemy isn't transsexuals, the enemy isn't anybody like that or anyone that's different to you, that the enemy is something else, then, then the game changes. They want us fighting each other. They want us in anger and fear and resentment and lack. They want us ill. Yes. They want that energy. And these are the days where we're being reminded the tough love way to be something different. Yes, to be the change in the world. If you could see where your money really was going and what it was being used for, you would be horrified. And this may be that a lot of this has to die with certain generations, and it's gonna until even including my generation. My generation is millennial, and there can still be problematic areas in that. And I know we've all had problematic views in the past until we learn and educate, until we step into enlightenment and learning. But we have a broken world that is now showing itself, and it's up to us to decide what are we going to do with it. Not save it, but how am I going to be different? Um, yes, one card to round up this reading. Miracles. Manifest and believe. Yes, we're still working. And enlightenment continue to grow, and that's where we leave this video. Enlightenment continue to grow spiritually. You won't find any enlightened people putting flags up. You won't find any enlightened people. Okay? You won't find enlightened people trolling, kicking off, threatening, posting problematic content on social media. You won't find enlightened people projecting all their shit out into the world. You'll find them being of service, being in accountability, being present and aware in all moments of their behaviours, actions, and how they can become a better version of themselves in every moment. Miracles. Manifest and believe. If you want to believe your world is fearful, you're going to get more of that because we're going into big manifesting energies now. We can manifest like never before. So if you want to believe that this is going to happen, it will. But that doesn't mean to say it's happening for everybody else. Anyway, still recording. Thank you for watching. We do have a playlist on here called World Tarot Readings or something. You can work your way through them. The next video you'll be seeing on here will be the Royal Predictions. I think it is, yes, for September. What date is it? Well, Gary's got my phone because he's taken some content off it for uploading. Anyway, I think it's 28th today. So possibly on the 30th of July. Look out for that video. Anyway, thanks for spending some time with me. Love you all. Keep your chins up, keep dancing, keep sparkling, keep having a laugh. And yes,